or somehow picked up my proclivity for enjoying trivia or interesting but usually useless pieces of information. He got it honestly. And one day the family were pulling into the garage, and he said to me, "Dad, did you know that there were 2 million ants for every person that was on the earth?" And I got to thinking about that. It would be trivia, however, our Holy Scriptures actually makes it a lot more significant. Now, we know ants are very prolific. There's over 10,000 species of them. It is said that no square mile of the earth that is in a temperate location does not have an ant in it. They're everywhere. But King Solomon, in Proverbs chapter 30, he had a list of animals that he can choose from, and he talks about metaphorically for characteristics. But he tells us there that ants are great teachers. He says there be 4 things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceedingly wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. In Proverbs 6, a more familiar passage of Scripture, at verse 6, King Solomon writes, "Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider her ways and be wise." And if you have many of the English translations, will use the gender specific from the original Hebrew, identifying the worker ant as female. Anytime you see a crowd of ants that are working, every single one of them is female. The male ant's called a drone, and they're never seen and they're only used for reproduction. So even thousands of years before science can talk about that, our Bible was already on top of that fact. But we can learn that ants are diligent and prudent if we've seen them work. They're diligent, they work without coercion, and they're animals that save part of their production for bad times. They work tirelessly. You never see them standing around, sitting around, or dragging through, and they work fast. They pace themselves. When you see them, they're always going at the same gait. They hustle and they don't quit whenever the job is done. And the Bible tells us, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might, for there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. That's great advice that Paul gave. And Proverbs 6 and verse 8, it says, which having no captain, overseer, or ruler, provides her supplies in the summer and gathers food for the harvest. So they don't need supervision. They don't need a guide or an overseer or a ruler, for they get to work and they find something to do without help. They are seekers. If you don't believe me, leave a little cube of sugar down somewhere or a little piece of food at a picnic, and they will seek and find it. Can you imagine an army of Christians that had the fortitude of ants when they were seeking the lost? We would be a powerful and a busy people. Ants never travel backwards. Whenever you see them, they're always going forward. You will never see an ant go backwards. And that's because they forget about the things that are behind them, and they're always moving ahead. They know how to move around obstacles. They will sacrifice each other to get the job done. They will bind together and form a moat if they need to float. They will bind together and put the stronger ones on the outside if they have to fight a predator. Paul tells us in Philippians 3 and verse 13, he says, brethren, I count not myself to be apprehended, but there's one thing I do, forgetting the things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before. Another great lesson that we can take from the ant: always march forward, never look back. Learn to embrace forgiveness and learn how to forgive. put the tired old habits of old behind us and move forward with new thoughts, new thinking, new understanding, the renewing of our mind. Ants never choose the easiest way or get discouraged by the job that can't be quickly finished. When facing difficulties, they energetically try again and again until they're successful. They will go great distances from home in order to find their food, and they will get into our houses, our cars, and everything in order to find out what they need. I wonder how much our faith can compare to the little ant in terms of using all of our resources, using all the things that are obstacles in front of us as we walk this Christian race. Are we like the ant? Do we push forward and not be like the sluggard? Do we save up our spiritual bounty for those days which hurt or bereavement or disappointment may come into our lives? So tonight, as we ponder the Savior's invitation, consider the ways of these little people. Let's ask ourselves, are we like the ant in the way we attack our jobs, the way that we attack our Christian life every day? Are we like the ant the way that we discipline our spending and save some of our resources? That we do more talking than dreaming, and that we do more work than sleeping? You know, King Solomon could have used a lot of animals. He could have used the power of the bear, the majesty of the eagle, the regalness of the lion. But he chose the diminutive ant as one of the great teachers for people to see as they walk their spiritual life. So, as we think about ourselves as a colony, we know that the prayers of the righteous availeth much. So we're going to extend the invitation for those of us who might have been a little slack, who are a little wanting. The church here will pray for you. We'll pray to make you stronger. And for those that are not Christians, well, we ask you to believe the word, to confess the name of Jesus before men, to repent, turn away from your old ways, and to be baptized in water for the remission of sins. And most importantly, live a godly life looking forward and not looking to the old man of the back. If that be your desire, whatever that you need, let's make that known as together we stand and sing the invitation song.
I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained within.